All right, welcome to another Bobby Maximus workout, and today we're going to learn to train like Creed. I'm using Creed as the person, the model today, because Michael B. Jordan has a phenomenal physique in that movie, one of the best Hollywood physiques I've ever seen. So I want to teach you guys how to get that body and how to get some big shoulders and a really tight core. But before we do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Bobby Maximus. I wrote a best-selling book for men's health called Maximus Body. I was named one of the 100 fittest people to ever walk the earth. I've trained people in the NBA, the NFL, and the UFC. I was in the UFC. I fought in UFC 58. I fought in Ultimate Fight Night 5. I fought in UFC 62. I've also worked with numerous Tier 1 assets in the United States military, Special Forces soldiers, people like SEALs, people from Delta, people from Orange, people who were Rangers and Green Berets. So when it comes to training, I know a little bit about the subject. We live in a day and age, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Everyone can start a little social media account and pretend they're an expert, but you really need to talk to some people with experience. And when it comes to experience, there's a couple of things you got to pay attention to. There's people that have learned it in school, there's people that have trained other people, and then there's people who've done the damn thing like me. So to get the body like Creed, to build the body of a boxer, you want to have some big, strong shoulders, and we're going to do that by doing one of my favorite exercises ever, the overhead press. It is highly neglected because people are just not strong at it. 9 times out of 10, someone will go to a bench press or an incline bench before they go to a standing press, but we're going to focus on that today to build those bolder shoulders to give you the look of a fighter. So now we're going to move into a 10-to-1 ladder of overhead press. Now, not only is the overhead press going to build you big, strong shoulders, it's also a great way to sort out your core. Nothing will sort out your core or give you core stability like putting a big weight overhead. So not only is this going to help us look good, it's also going to help us perform good because we're going to be strong, and it's going to keep us injury-free and feeling good because in our lives we've done so much pressing like this, we start to get imbalances. Let's start to balance that out with some overhead press to keep the shoulders healthy. And by the way, those are the 3 components of a Bobby Maximus workout. We want to feel good, we want to perform good, and we want to look good. So for the 10-to-1 ladder, and I do these a lot. I do them with bench press, I do them with deadlift, I do them with squat. We're going to do 10 reps at a lighter weight. We're going to rest a minute or 2. We're going to add a little bit of weight. We're going to do 9 reps. We're going to rest. We're going to add a little bit of weight. We're going to do 8 reps. We're going to add a little bit of weight and do 7 reps. We're going to keep adding weight until we're at 1 single heavy rep. For the science nerds out there, that final rep should be somewhere around 80 to 90% of your 1 rep max. So let's start with a set of 10. I've got the empty barbell. This is more about form than anything, to be honest with you. It's not about pushing a massive amount of weight. So you've got a grip that's slightly wider than shoulder width. It's at your clavicles. It's the scientific word for your collarbone. Slap me if I ever use that word again. You're going to press overhead. You're going to fully extend and poke your head through so your spine's in a line with the barbell. And then you're going to lower slowly. Notice for this, because this is structural, I've got a pronounced pause at the top. I'm not rushing through reps. Everything is perfect. So 10 reps of strict press. So we did our 10 reps. Now we are doing 9 reps. I've added a bit of weight. People often ask how much weight to add. Honestly, you can go by feel. If you feel really good, you feel like strong, you feel like Creed, you can add more weight. If you're not feeling that good, that's fine. At least you showed up. You can add a little bit less weight, but the goal is to go from light to heavy by the final rep. And I will tell you this, there are days I come in here not feeling good, and then I do my 10 reps, my 9 reps, my 8 reps, my 7, and then I start feeling it a little bit, and I get on track for the rest of the workout. So let's do our 9 reps. So here we are at 1 single rep, I'm ending at 135. I'll do 1 rep of strict press, and then we will move on. Rack the bar, tighten the core, squeeze it up, hold it for effect, lower slowly, and done. All right, so you want to train like Creed. You want to train like a boxer. You want to have big shoulders. We started that off with the 10-to-1 strict press ladder. Now for the main event. Every day is motherfucking shoulder day. It's a 30, 20, 10 rep ladder of 2 of my favorite exercises, overhead squat and bench press. So here's how this is going to work. We're going to do 30 reps of overhead squat. We're going to use 135 pounds. We're going to do it for form. Like I said, putting a weight overhead will sort out your core. And I actually said earlier, nothing will sort out your core more. Actually, there's one thing. It's not just putting it overhead. It's holding it overhead and squatting it. So we're going to do 30 overhead squats, get some emphasis on the shoulders and the core. Then we're going to do 30 bench presses. We're going to do 20 of each, 10 of each, 4 time. Let's get started. So for every day is motherfucking shoulder day. Like I said, it's a 30, 20, 10 rep ladder of overhead squat and bench press. Nothing will sort your core out more or build strong mobile shoulders like the overhead squat. To do an overhead squat, you're going to grab a nice grip. You're going to back squat it off of the cage. You're going to do a jerk to get it into the overhead position, and then you're going to squat it. Now, I take a narrower grip than most. I want to put additional stress on the shoulders and the core. The wider you go, the easier this gets. So I go to a little narrower to make it harder. You're probably not doing 30 reps straight of this, especially if you're new to the movement. It's really, really hard. And on that note, if you've never done overhead squats before, you might find this extremely hard with just an empty barbell. Anyway, because you're not doing 30 reps straight, I like to use bumper plates so I can just ditch it when I'm done. You get a little bit of extra work getting it back to the rack. You get it clean every time. So I did 3 reps. Do a little bit of a power clean. Put it back on the rack and then go again. Sometimes if I'm feeling good, I'll do 3 sets of 10 to start to get my 30 reps. Maybe 2 sets of 15. Man, I've done 30 straight before on a great day. But however you got to get this done, get it done. Do it in 3s, do it in 5s, do it in 6s. I don't really care. You just have to get 30 reps done before you move on to the bench press portion. So we've done the first set of overhead squats. We did 30 straight reps. And I don't care how much you rest. You just got to do 30 perfect reps before moving on to the bench press portion. Now we owe 30 bench presses. For bench press, you get a bench set up. Today we're demonstrating with a $135. You can go heavier or you can go lighter depending on your fitness level. I'm all about scaling. You're going to grab a nice shoulder width grip. I like to go a little narrower on the bench press. It just helps protect the shoulders, trust me, and puts a little bit of extra emphasis on the shoulders and the triceps. You're going to rack. You're going to lower to your chest and all the way back up. Elbows tight to the side and everything locked in, forming what the kids call the mind to muscle connection. You're going to do 30 reps of bench press. Now with the bench, you could probably do, depending on the weight, you could probably do more reps than the overhead squat. If there's a limiting factor in this workout, it's the overhead squat. So we've done 30 reps of overhead squat, 30 reps of bench press. Now we're going to do 20 of each, 10 of each, and then we're going to call it a day. Well, we're not going to call it a day. We got a little bit more work to do, but that portion of the workout is over. So we started the workout with some strict press. We did every day is motherfucking shoulder day. The overhead squat, the bench press circuit, 30, 20, 10 reps of each, but we're not done yet. One of the things I really admire about Michael B. Jordan's physique in Creed was his ab development. A lot of people skip abs but don't. A good midsection is what's going to help you look really good on screen. It's what's going to help you look really good at the pool or the beach, looking back at you in the mirror, and it's honestly going to be good for your health. A strong core means a strong body. So here's a little finisher that you can do. I mean, you could do this as its own workout if you want, but it's one of my favorite ab exercises or ab workouts. It's a 10-to-1 sit-up ladder with 30 seconds of plank holding. I call it the FLR. It's a plank on your hands and your feet in between each set. So we're going to do 10 sit-ups, then we're going to do 30 seconds of the plank hold, 9 sit-ups, 30 seconds of the plank hold, 8 sit-ups, 30 seconds of the plank hold, all the way to 1 rep of sit-up and 30 seconds of plank. A lot of people come at me about sit-ups. Bobby, there's so many more ab exercises I can do, and they're trying to do all kinds of crazy things. I see people do all kinds of nonsense at gyms. The sit-up is the classic, and in my opinion, it's the most effective and the most underrated ab exercise there is. Do more sit-ups. That will get you the six-pack that you're looking for. So let's get started with the circuit. We're going to do 10 sit-ups. Knees are bent at 90 degrees, all the way down and all the way up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to talk you through this thing. 8, 9, 10. And then we have my stopwatch. We're going to start it, and we're going to hold an FLR plank for 30 seconds. So, on my hands and on my feet, really important with this plank, flex your abs the entire time. Don't just rest with your bones stacked up. Make it as hard as possible. And I want a tight line from your head to your feet. The harder you press into the ground with your fingers, the harder you flex your abs, the better it's going to be. Remember, you're here to train. You're not here to just exercise. So get the most out of the movement. In 3, 2, 1. There's the plank hold. And now we're going to get right into 9 sit-ups. Ideally, you want to do this unbroken. If you can do it unbroken, it's going to get pretty savage because your abs never get a rest. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we go, and then another plank hold. And that's the workout. It's a 10-to-1 sit-up ladder with 30 seconds of this in between each set. And there you have it. You want to look like Michael B. Jordan. You want to train like Creed. You want to look like a fighter. You want that Hollywood physique. Let's face it, everyone wants. This is the workout for you. We started with the 10-to-1 strict press ladder. That's a great exercise because we're going to work the feel-good component of the thing, right? You want to be injury-free. You want to have strong, healthy shoulders. You want to have some longevity, and it's going to help you perform well and build big shoulders. So the 3 components of a Bobby Maximus workout: feel good, perform good, look good. It hits them all. Then we moved into the main event. Every day is motherfucking shoulder day. 30, 20, 10 reps of overhead squat and bench press. One of my favorite circuits for the shoulders and, again, the core, because it's all about the shoulders and the core if you're trying to look like Michael B. Jordan. And then to finish off, a 10-to-1 sit-up ladder with the 30 seconds of plank hold in between each. I promise you, you do stuff like this, you will have a body like Creed.